Hello, world history students. This is Mrs. Politsky, and I have notes for our Middle East unit, Chapter 9, Section 1. And we're going to talk a little bit about Islam, and I want to do a little comparison between Muslim beliefs and Catholic beliefs. So we're going to start with kind of the Muslim law, the Sharia law. And Sharia law basically is the Islamic legal system that's based on the Quran and the Hadith, and it's modified and interpreted by Islamic judges. Whereas in the Catholic faith, canon law is a system of laws and legal principles made and enforced by the hierarchical authorities of the Catholic Church to govern, regulate, and direct activities of Catholics. Okay, the thing that's interesting is Sharia law sometimes is considered to be maybe a political legal system. And in this day and age, when we talk about groups like ISIS, this is their motive. They would love to have their entire nation governed by Islamic law. Okay, within the faith, we have some different beliefs that we as followers must follow. So when we talk about Muslims, they have the 5 pillars of faith. And for Catholics, we have our 5 precepts of the Catholic Church. And so the 5 pillars of faith, this is almsgiving, so like giving back to the poor, fasting during the month of Ramadan, which is kind of their holy month, the Hajj, or sometimes known as the pilgrimage to Mecca, prayer 5 times a day. And when people are praying, they must face Mecca. So here in the United States, they'd be facing east, and a profession of faith. Within the Catholic Church, our 5 precepts are to attend Mass on Sunday and observe our holy days, confession of sins, a minimum of once a year, to receive Holy Communion or Holy Eucharist at least once a year, primarily during the season of Easter, observing days of fasting and abstinence, and also giving of alms. So we're going to take a look at Section 1, the Muslim civilizations and the origin of Islam. Mecca was and is still an important town because it was a trade center and contained a building called the Kaaba, which you see below. And that Kaaba is considered to be a sacred site and draws religious pilgrimages and pilgrims. When Muslims make their pilgrimage to Mecca, this is the site that they go to. And you see all these people surrounding this. They walk kind of counterclockwise around this building. So it's kind of a huge event. Muhammad, who is the prophet, received messages or revelations from God or Allah. And these were sent through an angel. The messages were that Allah was the only true God and included the instructions about how people should live in order to live in paradise after they died. Number 3, Muhammad and his followers moved to Yathrib, which is basically the city of Medina, because Muhammad realized that they were not safe in the city of Mecca. The people in Yathrib were a little more open to his religious message, and so they left. The basic ideas of Islam are to read the Quran and to have the following obligations known as the 5 pillars, which we mentioned a moment ago, which is profession of faith, performance of daily prayer, the giving of alms, the fasting during Ramadan, and the making of the Hajj or the pilgrimage. The Quran is the holy book of Islam, and it was written by some of Muhammad's followers. Muslims are encouraged to read the Quran in Arabic because that is kind of the language of Islam, because Muslims believe that only by reading it in its original form does one gain access to the full meaning and also the beauty of the text. Number 7, the Hadith. This is the individual lesson or report on Muhammad's actions contained in an important Muslim text known as the Sunnah. And the Sunnah is the record of Muhammad's behavior and teachings. Sharia in the Muslim legal system. And Sharia is open to many interpretations because the law is not standardized. Many schools of thought created it over several centuries. Thank you very much.